Hi, I'm Kurt from Kurt's Auto and the Ripping Burnouts YouTube channel. Thought I'd take a moment and give you kind of a channel update and show you some of the project cars that I have coming up in the future. So here we are, starting off with the oldest one that I own, a 1940 Mercury 8. This car was purchased at auction, and technically I actually own two 1940s, but that one is next. This was purchased at auction as a non-running car sitting since the 70s. And I've spent the last few months going through making it a running driving car, and it made it to its first car show last week and still has a little bit of bugs to work out of it, but all in all this car is in excellent condition and is a driving car at the moment. Next we have the 1940 Ford. This one was also sitting since the 70s. I purchased this one as a parts car because I needed some parts for my Mercury that were going to be difficult to find, and I tried to get that done for Vintage Torque Fest here in Dubuque. This car I have big plans for, but as it currently sits as a non-running, the engine is locked up, still has the original flathead in it, but as you can see the glass is in pretty rough condition, and it's not a bad car. It definitely has some great potential, but this one will be a project coming up. Hopefully for next spring, we have this thing back on the road. So now we're jumping out of the 40s and into the 60s. My 65 Catalina. This is technically the oldest car or the car I've owned the longest. I've owned this vehicle since I was 17. It's currently mechanically almost 100%, but the body is obviously, as you can see, incomplete. Definitely want to get this car put back together. It has been taken apart for almost 25 years now, and yeah, like I said, mechanically you can jump in it, it'll start right up and it's 100% new. I just have to have time to actually work on the body and get the thing put back on the road again. Then we have my 1966 International Scout plow truck. This is a running driving vehicle. Well, I shouldn't say driving. I've owned it for almost 20 years and it has never really been driven on the street. I've only used it as a work vehicle to plow snow, but has the original 4-cylinder in it and sitting pretty much since winter. I started up to get it here, but it just runs amazing. So this truck, my daughter actually wants me to make it a daily driver for her. So we have some big plans for this one in the future, but like I said, as of right now, it's currently just a plow truck that I use in the wintertime only, but it's a pretty neat vehicle from the 60s. From there, we're jumping into the 70s. My 79 Pontiac Firebird. Now I am jumping over a couple of square body trucks, but I don't know that they're in good enough condition to consider them project vehicles at this point. But this is my 1979 Pontiac Firebird. That was my Hot Rod Power Tour 2024 car. We completed the entire power tour. Got the sticker on the back window here. And we managed to make it down 6 drag strips, completely destroy a set of rear tires, and made it all the way home. However, an hour away from home, I lost oil pressure and did some damage to the engine. I don't know the exact problems yet, but very soon we will be taking the engine back apart, which technically it had to come apart anyway because it wasn't fast enough. So the fact that it lost oil pressure was just a great reason to make sure we make it a little bit faster. But we will be figuring out what exactly happened to the oil pressure very soon. Like I said, I have a couple 70s square body trucks that are sitting over there piled with parts, but they're not necessarily important. So from the 70s, we get into the 80s, in which case the Firebird collection continues. Well, technically, it's actually, it is a Firebird, and it's neither of these two. We gotta go look at that one that doesn't run. This is my 1985 Pontiac Trans Am. Purchased this one as a non-running vehicle that I got a pretty good deal on, and it was supposed to have electrical issues. It did. However, I fixed those electrical issues only to find out that the harmonic balancer had rubbed a hole through the timing cover. So I currently have the front of the engine torn apart, and with all the oil leaks and coolant leaks that I found, I think the plan is going to be to pull the engine out and reseal the whole thing and put it back in. So currently this is in a non-running condition. It is an 85 Trans Am T-top car. The interior is pretty trashed. As you can see, we definitely have our work cut out for us on this one. Next, we have a Camaro in the F-Body collection. We have my 1986 Z28 Chevy Camaro. This is on airbags, which this was my previous Power Tour car for a few years. Quarter pound of glitter in the clear coat gives it the color change effect. But this is a tune port car that's just a lot of fun and is pretty reliable to drive. We have a few little issues to do with this, but mostly just maintenance. And this car is still a working, running, and driving car. Next, we jump to a 1989 Pontiac Firebird. This car has 28,000 original miles, as in 1991, somebody ran into the door and caused this car to be pulled off of the road. So I purchased this as auction, and we had problems with the title. Took a while to get it, but I finally have a title in my name. And this car currently, because of sitting for so long, had a bunch of rust in the fuel system, and a couple of the fuel injectors, I believe, are plugged with rust. So we do have to pull the top of the engine apart to kind of clean the fuel rail and see what we can do to fix it. But this car is in amazing, obviously the paint is completely trashed, but as far as rust goes, this car is in amazing condition and has 28,131 miles on the odometer since 1987 when it was made, or 89 when it was made. So I have some big plans for this car. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do with it yet, but I'm not sure. We'll see what we end up doing. Right now, I just want to make it run again to see if we can drive it with the 6-cylinder and see what kind of car we actually have. But feeling the doors close and sitting in the seats, it just truly does feel like it's a brand new car. So this one I might keep around for myself as a daily driver. I don't know yet. Well, after going through and showing you all the F-bodies, I actually realized I skipped my 1986 Chevy school bus. I really don't know what I'm going to do with that or why I have it, but I have a school bus in my backyard as well. Moving past the 80s, we get into the 90s. This is my 1993 Pontiac Sunbird. As you can see, not sure how well the camera picks this paint up. What we did here was we took the leftover flake from my Camaro and we threw it over top of red. So my Camaro is actually based with black, and this car we based with a red paint, and we put the glitter in the clear coat, and it gives a real gold, strawberry, purple color that I'm not sure what the camera actually picks up on this, but it's pretty unique. It's not a major flip-flop, but it does change color a little bit from red to gold pretty well. Gets a green color in there too. This car is kind of a daily driver because looking for weather stripping for a car that they don't make it for has created some issues with finding the parts. So the top isn't currently finished, but we've been driving it this way for a while whenever the sun's out and the rain is not. I did skip over a couple other cars that are currently kind of hidden away and not as important, but just like to kind of show you exactly what I have planned for the future, and hope you'll hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and follow along. We'll see what we do with all these cars. But I definitely had my work cut out for me with just the vehicle sitting in my backyard right now. Oh yeah, and while I'm at it, this dirt is all moved because I'm also putting up a 30 by 40 garage where the concrete guy has been called and the building is getting ordered. So with having to fix all these cars before winter, I also am building a new garage to put them all in. So should be a lot of things going on in the channel here in the next coming months.